on Ujjain. Wow. And 2018 until now serving there. Director of ISKCON Ministry of for Cow Protection and Agriculture, North America, 2019 onwards, still continuing. Director of Veda Foundation, India, 2020 and continuing now. Spent 2 years in Florida, USA, serving at Dell on the project of His Holiness Bhakti Charsa Maharaj. In India, he has given talks to students of IIT Bombay, Kharagpur, Kanpur, IIT Indore, NIT Bhopal, and Pune, and various other colleges. Travels in different places in India and abroad for sharing the Krishna consciousness to the congregation and members. Teaches IDC, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava at Ujjain and Mayapur Institute. So let's welcome Prabhu, His Grace Krishna Kishore Prabhu, by chanting Hare Krishna mantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhu, joining. Please enlighten us.
Hare Krishna. I'm very grateful to be here. For the first time, I came to this wonderful temple, and Srila Prabhupada is dressed very opulently, really looking Jagat Guru, and also the deities look so opulent, wonderful garlands, dressing. They are so happy. This is the sign of devotion of devotees. Lord manifest as per the devotion of devotees. One time, Narad Muni went to Lord. So I am tired of telling your address because you keep on changing your places. So I am thinking to print one visiting card for you. What is your address? Where do you live? Lord tells Narad Muni, I don't live in Vaikuntha. That is not my address. For so long we heard only you used to live in Vaikuntha. Printing mistake. Where do you live? In the heart of yogis? No, I don't live in the heart of yogis. Then where do you live? Jatra gayanti mad bhakta tatra tishtami narada. Where my devotees come together and they chant my glories, I stay there. That is my permanent address. So Lord manifests himself wherever devotees come together and they practice devotional service. When they chant his name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When they hear his katha, Lord becomes immediately present in that place. Everyone like to hear good things about themselves. Suppose you are passing through some room and you hear your name. How do you feel? Let me see what they are discussing. In the same way, Lord has all qualities come from Lord. So Lord also become happy. Oh, they are discussing about me. Let me hear what they are talking. So Lord become immediately present where devotees come together and they discuss his katha. And the most merciful form of Lord is the most merciful Lord. He is Lord of Kali Yuga. You know why? Because in previous ages, the process was so difficult. People were so qualified, they used to meditate for thousands of years. Even demons used to practice austerities. Hiranyakashipu was standing on the tip of the toe. Have you practiced that? Maybe some dancers can do it for a few seconds. But he was standing like that for thousands of years. And with his both arms raised. So even demons used to practice austerities in previous ages. What to speak about the mendicants and sattvic people. Then in Treta Yuga, they used to do big yagyas. In Dwapar Yuga, they used to do big deity worships. But in Kali Yuga, simple process of chanting holy name. But even then, how excited we are to chant holy name. One round becomes so difficult to chant. When we start Hare Krishna chanting, we sometimes ask this question, Prabhu, I have to speak full mantra on one moti? Or Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. 16 motis done. Is it like that? Such a long mantra. Can you give me shorter mantra? So even chanting becomes difficult. And Lord knows that. But one thing which we all are very excited about, that is eating. You may have seen people sleeping while chanting. You may have seen people sleeping while hearing class. It's very common. You may have seen people sleeping while driving also. But have you seen anybody sleeping while eating? Have you seen anyone? No way. That's the best alarm clock. Mahaprashade Govinde. And immediately you get up. So Lord knows this, that people of Kali Yuga, they are very attached to eating. So Jagannath is very clever. He arranged to deliver people through prasad. If you go to Mayapur, is abode of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you get mercy by doing Sankirtan, by chanting holy name. If you go to Vrindavan, you get blessings by rolling in the dust of Vrindavan. But if you go to Jagannath Puri, how you get mercy? Just by eating prasadam. Isn't it wonderful? It's most merciful Lord. Therefore, the Yuga Avatara of Kali Yuga, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, decided to make his headquarters in Puri itself. He knew people will come here to eat and I will give them holy name. So this is the wonderful combination, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath. They are the most merciful lords. And they are ready to look some good in anyone who come in front of them. Therefore, you see, Jagannath's eyes are very big. They are looking for any possibility to give mercy. Like you must have heard the pastime of Ajamil. Ajamil was calling Narayan. Who was Narayan? His son. But then Lord said, no, I will go and rescue him. Lakshmi told, why are you going? Why are you sending your Vishnu Dutas? He's calling his son. No, but by chance, if he's calling me, let us give him benefit of doubt. Let me go and save him. Similarly, we hear Putana. Putana went to Krishna with poison, feeding poison. But then Krishna, in reward, what Krishna gave Putana? He gave status of his own mother to Putana in the spiritual world, being Krishna's nurse in the spiritual world. Somebody asked Krishna, she didn't come to you to serve you. She just came to kill you. Krishna said, no, at least she dressed like my mother. So that I will consider. So if we have intention, Krishna will take intention. If we don't have intention, even externally we come. He is ready to take our good part. That is how merciful Krishna is. On the contrary, in material world, no matter how good you do, people will never appreciate it. If you cut your throat and offer to someone, he will say, you didn't cut it right. You got little. That is condition of the material world. You can't see good in others. One time Duryodhan was told that you go around and bring a good person. Whole day he was searching. He could not find anybody. At the end of the day, he came to his Guru and said, Guru Maharaj, I could not find anybody except me. I am the best person in this world. And then next Yudhishthir was told, okay, you go around and you find the most sinful person, most fallen person. He goes around and comes back. He said, I could not find anybody fallen more than me. I am the most fallen. This is difference between material and spiritual. Material world is always looking faults. But in a spiritual world, when we come, Lord is ready to give his mercy. We just have to come in his shelter. He promises, Ananyas chintayanto mam, ye janha pariyupasate. Whoever will be engaged in my service, Ananya. Ananya means undivided. Then what I do? Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. I personally fulfill what they lack and I protect what they have. This Yoga kshemam vahamyaham became tagline for LIC. LIC took from Bhagavad Gita what they will give after life. But Krishna promises, no. Jindagi ke saath bhi, jindagi ke baad bhi. While living, he will take care of us, and after life, he will take care of us. This is Krishna's assurance. Only thing we have to do on our part is come in front of him and call out to him. See, our situation in material world is like a small child. Sometimes children become adamant. I want to go to the park. I want to go to the park. And then father has to take him to the park. And he happily goes holding the hand of father to the park. But once the child reaches to the park, he sees many children of his same age. He sees many opportunities to play. Then he leaves hand of his father. And he becomes busy in playing with the children. It goes on for some times. Father, he sits on the bench and he waits for the child. But when evening comes, all children leave for their house. He is left alone. That time he remembers his father. Daddy, daddy, where are you? Then father comes, picks him up and takes him back home. This is our condition in the material world. We were happy with the Supreme Lord. He was taking care of us. We were serving him. But then we were adamant, no, we want to go to the place called Bangalore. And we will try to be happy there. Lord said, okay, if you want, I can take you. Problem starts when we leave hand of Father. Problem starts when we forget Lord from our life. Then so-called friends of this world, they promise that yes, we will be with you, we will take care of you, we will nourish you, we will give shelter to you. But when real crisis come, everyone leaves. That is the time we remember the Lord. Krishna, Krishna, where are you? This prayer, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This prayer is calling out Krishna. That Krishna, so long I was wandering around this material world. Now I want to be with you. Please take me along with you. Let me not forget you. That is devotee's attitude. And as we practice this devotional service, our attachment to Krishna increase. So much so that all other attachments subside. And at the end moment of our life, we remember Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna tells? Antakale chamameva smarana muktva kalevaram. One who remembers me at the time of death, he comes back to me for sure. Now, the situation is, we will only remember things from which we are attached. Whom you remember at the time of crisis? The things which you are attached to. Nobody can say that, okay, whole life I will not practice Krishna consciousness, but at sick, You go to hospital and you ask them, how are you feeling? What they will say? Today I'm feeling little better. Still they have desire to enjoy in this material world. And even while dying, the moment of their death, they remember their property, they remember their bank balance, they remember their relatives. It's not so easy. You can judge in your life. When you hit your leg, what comes out from your mouth? What comes out of your mouth? Krishna's name or Mama? What comes out of your mouth? So that is our situation. Imagine when we will leave our body that time, it will be so painful as if 40,000 scorpions bite at the same moment. Is it possible to remember anyone at that time? Therefore, we should practice every day. This is practice. Whatever you will practice, it will become your second nature. One time there was one tailor, and whole day his work was cutting clothes. So people would come to his shop and say, give me 1 meter clothes. He would cut 1 meter. He said, give me 2 meters, 2 meters, 1 meter, 2 meter, 1 meter, 2 meter. Whole day, he is just cutting clothes. One day as he was sleeping, he got up in the morning, his own clothes were cut. What happened? In dream, he thought one customer is asking, give me 2 meters. He cut his own clothes. It's just matter of practice. Whatever you'll practice, it becomes your second nature. So in the same way, if we practice to remember Lord in our good times, in our bad times, then it is very possible that we remember Krishna at the time of our death. And not only that, even if a devotee who practiced Krishna consciousness throughout his life, if he cannot remember Krishna at the time of death, Krishna remembers such devotee. He remembers the sacrifice of such devotee. Therefore, on this path, there is no loss. Whatever little endeavor we'll make, it can save us from greatest danger. As much we move forward towards the Lord, Lord also take the same number of steps. The difference is, our steps are only 2 feet, 3 feet, and his steps is Trivikram. In one step, he can measure the whole world. That is Lord's approach toward his devotees. We can never imagine how much eager Lord is to bring us back to him. Can you imagine? Every millennium, he take incarnation. In every house, he comes in the form of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. We have sacred plants like Tulsi. We have sacred rivers like Ganga, Yamuna. We have holy name, which we can chant in any situation, any condition, without any rules and regulations. Then devotees come and register us for Gita course. Then they take our course in different languages. What not Lord is doing to bring us back to him. That is his karuna, that is his mercy. And when Lord sees that any devotee is showing some interest, Lord make all facilities for that devotee to progress. That is beauty of Krishna Bhakti. That is beauty of Krishna consciousness. And as the devotee approaches the Lord, Lord also become attached to that devotee. It's not only that devotee become attached to the Lord, Lord also become attached to the devotee. Lord says in Srimad Bhagavatam that my devotee leave everything for me. They leave their family, their bad habits, their bodily comfort. I can only give myself in return. That is Lord's gratitude towards his devotees. And as much devotee surrenders to the Lord, Lord reciprocates accordingly. There is a beautiful description of different grades of devotees, that how different grades of devotees approach Lord and Lord reciprocates with them. There is a description in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Brihad Bhagavatamrita is one scripture written by one of our acharyas, Sanatan Goswami. And he writes very beautifully relationship between Lord and his devotees. He mentions that one time in Prayagraj, there was assembly of sages. Listen carefully, I will ask in the end what the sequence. So in the Prayagraj, there were assembly of devotees. And they were discussing among themselves that who is the greatest devotee. So they were telling that you are greatest devotee, you are greatest devotee. Everybody was pointing to others that you are great devotee. But they were not able to come to any conclusion. In the meantime, they saw a distant place, one Brahmana went to take bath in the cold water of Ganges. It was freezing cold. He takes bath, he come out of water, and then he places his shaligram on a golden throne. And he starts to worship with a lot of devotion. He offers tulasi, offers gangajal, offers varieties of bhoga. And with all his family, he was chanting, dancing, trying to please the Lord. And when people were appreciating him, he said, no, 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 I am good for nothing. Actually, it is just mercy of Lord that he is allowing me to serve him. So all these sages thought, he is best devotee. Look at his humility, look at his austerity, look at his devotion. He is best devotee. So they said, okay, let us send Narad Muni to speak to him. So they requested Narad Muni to go to that Brahmana and speak. So Narad Muni went to him. Narad Muni said, my dear Brahmana, you are a very good devotee. Lord must be very pleased with you. In such freezing cold, you are taking bath, and along with your family, you are dedicating your whole life to serve the Lord. You are the best devotee in my advice, in my decision. And Brahmana said, no, I am not a devotee. Look, I am attached to my family. I am attached to my sense gratification. And how much I can serve Lord? What I can give it to him? This Ganga is coming from the lotus feet of Lord. And I am offering same water on his head. What I can offer to him? I am depending on him. But there is a king in South India. This king is so devoted to the Lord that not only him, but he engaged whole kingdom in the service of Lord. He built big temple for the service of Lord. So you should go to the king. So Narad Muni goes to the king. As he enters the kingdom, he saw at every step there were big arrangements to glorify the Lord. Every citizen of that kingdom was a devotee with Vaishnav Tilak. They were chanting names of Lord, worshipping Lord with all opulence in the temple. Narad Muni went to the temple. He found king personally worshipping the deity of the Lord. Narad Muni was very pleased to see. Narad Muni waited for king to finish the worship. When king finished the worship, Narad Muni went to him and he asked, my dear king, you are best devotee. Not only yourself, but you made whole kingdom into devotees. How much Lord will be pleased with you? Please give me your mercy. I consider you as the best devotee. The king, in all his humility, said, no, I am not a big devotee. What I can offer to the Lord? I am a small king of a small kingdom. But look at Indra. Indra is king of the demigods. He is so powerful that just by his signal of eyes, all demigods function. And Lord is so pleased by Indra that if there is any problem on Indra, Indrari Vyakulam Lokam, then he take incarnation to save him. He favors Indra so much. And when Indra make offering, I am making offering to the deity of Lord, but Vaman Dev personally come to eat offering of Indra. How much Indra is loved by Lord. He is best devotee. So you should go to Indra. So Narad Muni takes first flight to Swarga. He doesn't need flight. He can fly. So he goes to Swarga. And in Swarga, he sees Lord Vaman Dev as Upendra. He became Indra's younger brother. And Indra feeds, like elder brother feeds younger brother from his own hand. Vaman Dev is fed from hands of Indra. Indra feeds personally to Vaman Dev. Narad Muni was so ecstatic to see that how lovingly Indra is serving. So he goes to Indra and he says, Indra, you are the best devotee. I've never seen devotee like you. Lord personally came, he became your younger brother, and you're feeding with your own hands, like Mother Yashoda is feeding, like Devaki, like Kaushalya. You are feeding Lord by your own hand. You must be the greatest devotee. Please give me your mercy. Indra said, please don't embarrass me. You know how many times I offended Lord? I challenged him. I misunderstand him. I tried to kill all Brajavasis by pouring heavy rains in Vrindavan. Then also he is so merciful that he has forgiven me. But I can't be his devotee. He is just tolerating my mistakes. Narad Muni got confused. Then who is greater than you? He said, Brahma is greatest devotee. Why Brahma? Because Indra, like me, 14 Indras change in one day of Brahma. He is such a big authority of this world. And from his mouth, constantly Veda Vani, the voice of the Vedas constantly flow from his mouth. His whole body is enriched by knowledge of Krishna. He is our supreme father. In material world, he is Prapitamaha, Pitamaha. Krishna is Prapitamaha, but he is Pitamaha. So you should go to Brahma. Narad Muni said, okay, he is my daddy. I can go. So Narad Muni goes to Brahma. He said, my dear father, today I realized you are the greatest devotee. I met Brahmana, he sent me to the king sent me to Indra, and Indra finally told me that you are greatest devotee. Because when demigods are in trouble, they come to you and you take them to Shir Sagar. And when you offer prayers, then Lord accepts to incarnate and solve problem of the demigods. So you are so pure and so dear to the Lord. Please give your blessings to me. And Brahma, from his foreheads, started to cry. How many eyes Brahma had? 8 eyes. He started to cry. He said, I am an offender. Don't you remember that I kidnapped all cows and Gopa friends of Krishna? And I separated them from Krishna for 1 year. And Krishna had to expand in all these cows and Gopa friends of his and enact for whole 1 year so that mothers and fathers of these children don't get affected. Whenever I remember that, I feel so shameful. Not only that, after Krishna forgiven me, later when he went to Dwarka, then also I became proud. I went to his door and I told his doorkeepers, tell Krishna Brahma has come. And that doorkeepers asked me, which Brahma? Then I realized, oh, there are more Brahmas? Yes, there are unlimited Brahmas. Then I realized that how Krishna is worshipped by so many millions of Brahmas. So I am not a great devotee. And Narad Muni started to scratch his head. Then who is greater devotee than you? He said, Lord Shiva is greatest devotee. Go to Lord Shiva. Whole day and night he is into meditation, chanting Lord's name. He is Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Among Vaishnavas, he is greatest. So you should go to Lord Shiva. Now Narad Muni travels to Kailash. And in all his bliss, he started to glorify Lord Shiva. My dear Lord Shiva, you are the greatest devotee. I read it in the scriptures, but today I got the evidence. My father told that you are the greatest devotee. Lord loves you so much that he worships you personally in incarnation of Lord Ram. He is very dear to you and you are very dear to him. Please give me your mercy. Then Lord Shiva started to cry. He said, don't embarrass me. I am not a devotee. Don't you remember? I give boons to my devotees who later trouble Lord, including Ravan. And sometimes I favor my devotees so much that I start to fight with the Lord. In Krishna Leela, there's fight between Shiva and Krishna. So many times I challenged Lord. So whenever I remember that, I feel very ashamed. So I am not a good devotee. So then who is good devotee? Residents of Vaikuntha are greatest devotees. So you should go to Vaikuntha. Residents of Vaikuntha. So as Narad Muni was preparing to leave, Mother Parvati stopped him. He said, Narad, come. Actually, my husband doesn't know how to give address. In Vaikuntha, there are so many devotees whom you will meet. You know, in Vaikuntha, best devotee is Lakshmi. So you should meet Lakshmi. Lord Shiva said, you are favoring a female because you are female. But let me tell you something else. There is somebody greater than Lakshmi, dearer to Lord than Lakshmi. That is Prahlad. Parvati said, how come Prahlad? He said, don't you remember in incarnation of Lord Nrsimhadev, when Lord killed Hiranyakashipu, he was still very angry. He killed all associates of Hiranyakashipu. Still he was angry. And demigods wanted to make Lord little peaceful. So they were not ready to go in the front. They said, Brahma, you should go. Brahma said, I am not going. He is so angry, he will do my operation too. I am not going. So then what to do? They said, okay, in front of wife, anyway, husband become peaceful. So let's call Lakshmi. So they all went to Mother Lakshmi. Mother, please help us. Console Lord Nrsimhadev. So Mother Lakshmi came in all confidence. She said, okay, I will console Nrsimhadev. And as she came near Nrsimhadev one time, he made roaring sound. And Lakshmi Devi ran from there. He said, no, he is not my husband. Then what to do? Then Brahma said, Prahlad, you go. Lord incarnated for you. And as soon as Lord Nrsimhadev saw Prahlad, Lord Nrsimhadev picked Prahlad in lap, started licking Prahlad. That is the love Lord has for Prahlad. So Lord Shiva told Narad, go to Prahlad. So Narad went to Sutarlok to Prahlad. And as he met Prahlad, Prahlad was busy in glorifying Lord Nrsimhadev, offering his prayers. Narad Muni waited for him to finish. And then Narad Muni approached Prahlad. He said, Prahlad, you are the greatest devotee. I have not seen any devotee like you. From whom you are doing devotional service? And how many times Lord came to save you? Have you heard an incarnation done just for one devotee? When Lord Ram came, he blessed so many devotees. When Krishna came, he blessed so many devotees. But Nrsimhadev just came for you. One incarnation for one devotee. That means Lord loves you so much. Please give your blessings to me. Then Prahlad said, no, I am not a good devotee. Why? My devotion was childish. The purpose of serving Lord is not to take favors from him. I was putting myself in trouble and Lord had to take all trouble to save me. So I troubled him so many times. This is not devotional service. In fact, a devotee should make Lord's pastime easier. But I made his pastime difficult. So I am not his devotee. Then who is devotee? Prahlad said, go to Hanuman. Because Hanuman served Lord Ram. He simplified Lord's purpose. So you should go to Hanuman. So then Narad Muni traveled to Kim Purusha Varsha and he found Hanuman. Hanuman was glorifying, discussing Lord Ram's katha with all inhabitants of Kim Purusha Varsha. The Narad Muni sat and heard Katha. As Hanumanji was speaking Katha of Lord Ram, tears were flowing from his eyes. Hairs were standing on end. He is trembling. He is so absorbed in glorifying Lord. Narad Muni could see love of Hanumanji for Lord Ram. So after the Katha ended, Narad Muni approached Hanuman and said, Hanumanji, you are the best devotee. I am going through many places, and finally I came to my destination. You are the best devotee. Hanuman said, no, I am not best devotee. Why? Why do you say like this? He said, whom you love, you want to keep him with you. But when Lord Ram concluded his pastimes, he took all inhabitants of Ayodhya with him, except me. He left me behind. So that is the proof that I am not very dear to him. So then, who is more dear to Lord than you? He said, Pandavas are more dear to me. Because Lord never leave Pandavas. In fact, he leaves his home and come to save Pandavas. So you should go to Pandavas. So now Narad Muni comes to the Pandavas. First he comes to Nakul and Sahadev. He said, Nakul and Sahadev, you are the best devotees. He said, you see, we don't have much role to play. In fact, our elder three brothers, they are best devotees, and because of them, we got mercy. He said, okay, let me go to Yudhishthir. He went to Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir said, I am not a good devotee. How do you get this information? Actually, Lord asked me to tell a little lie that Ashwatthama died, and I denied. I was having doubts about it. So I am not a good devotee. Bhima is better devotee than me. He said, okay, let's go to Bhima. Then Narad Muni comes and he tells, Bhima, you are the greatest devotee. Bhima says, you have to remember the sequence, I am going to ask at the end. So Bhima says, actually, Lord loves me out of sympathy. I don't have any qualities. Why you say like this? Bhima says, because Lord loves Arjun so much, I also used to feel that what skills I lack, that Lord is not loving me like Arjun. So I was doing some analysis. Bhima is doing analysis. Bhima thought that, see, in power, Arjun and I is almost same. It's okay. Only thing I lack is singing. So Arjun is a good singer. All other qualities are same. I am also son of Pandu. I am also a Kshatriya. I am also a good warrior. Only thing is Arjuna can sing very nicely. Maybe Krishna want to sing some nice songs. So I should learn singing. So Bhima told he started music class. Now to practice his music, he got tabla. And the first hit he gave to tabla broke. What to do? But he was very determined. So he continued his riyas, he continued his practice. But the problem was when he was practicing music, whole palace was shaking. So people went and told Yudhishthira Maharaj, please save us. This Bhima is practicing music, but our whole palace is shaking. Send somewhere. So Yudhishthira called Bhima. Say, Bhima, there are a lot of disturbance in the palace. You can't practice peacefully. So look at that mountain. You go there and you practice there. Bhima goes to that mountain and he starts to practice his music. In the meantime, one person comes there walking and he looks at Bhima with great amazement. Bhima stops his practice. Bhima got some courage. Bhima became very happy. He said, did you come here hearing my music? He said, yes, I came all the way hearing your music. He said, wow, what brought you here? He said, actually, since morning I am not finding my donkey. And when I heard your singing, I thought maybe my donkey is here. Bhima got so hurt. Bhima came back to palace, closed all doors and started crying. That was the time somebody knocks his door. Bhima asks, who is there? I don't want to meet anyone. The voice comes, I am Dwarkadish. I came to see you. Bhima, if nobody hears you, I will hear you singing. You just sing for me. So Krishna loves me out of sympathy. I don't have any quality. But Krishna loves Arjun most. So you go to Arjun. Arjun is the best devotee. So Narad Muni, finally being very tired, he comes to Arjuna. He started glorifying Arjuna. Arjuna, you are such a great devotee. Krishna spoke whole Bhagavad Gita for you. And because of you, we all are getting this nectar of Bhagavad Gita. So you are the best devotee. Please be merciful unto me. Arjuna said, no, I am not good devotee. You see, after the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna left us. If he would have loved us, he would have stayed with us. But he left me. And he went to Dwarka. So if he left me for Dwarka, you can understand, Dwarka Vasis are more dear to Krishna than me. So you should go to Dwarka. Finally, Narad Muni reaches Dwarka. Now in Dwarka, he goes to Sudharma Hall, the main courtroom. Ugrasen Maharaj was sitting on the throne. All the ministers were sitting and they were waiting for Krishna. So Krishna was not the king. Ugrasen Maharaj was king. But as Krishna would come, then only they would start their sessions in the court. Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. So they were waiting for Krishna. And Narad Muni enters. And he tells, all glories to Maharaj Ugrasen. You are the greatest devotee. In your court, Krishna stands and he calls you like your majesty. He becomes your subject. What greater glory it will be for a devotee. You are the greatest devotee. Ugrasen Maharaj says, look, he just has sympathy for me because my own son Kansa put me in jail. So he released me and put me on throne just out of sympathy. So don't worry, I am not greatest devotee. If you really want to meet Krishna's dearest devotee, then you should meet Uddhav. Uddhav is Krishna's closest associate. So much so that Krishna gives his own clothes to Uddhav to wear. Uddhav never eats anything but Krishna's remnants. He is so attached to Krishna that he looks like Krishna. His color became like Krishna. So Uddhav is most dear to Krishna. You go and meet Uddhav. So Narad Muni is finding Uddhav. Where is Uddhav? He comes to the inner chambers of palace of Dwarka. And there he finds Uddhav sitting in all remorse. Uddhav was crying. Narad Muni was astonished. What happened, Uddhav? Why are you so sad? What happened? Mother Devaki was there. Vasudev was there. Mother Rohini was there. And Kansa's mother was there. So all of them were there. And they all were very sad. Narad Muni asked, Uddhav, what happened? Why are you so sad? Uddhav said, Krishna is not well. Krishna is sick. What happened to Krishna? Since days, he is crying every night. And he is just calling names of gopis. He is remembering Vrindavan. And day and night he is crying. His situation is not good. So Narad Muni says, why don't you take him to Vrindavan then? He said, no. If you do that, we are fearful in the shock of meeting Vrajavasis, he may lose his life. Mother Devaki comes. She started to speak. You know, Narad, how much Krishna loves his cows? One time, I served a milk sweet in his plate. And Krishna started to cry and he left. I went following him to his room. And I asked Krishna, what happened? You didn't like Prasad? Why did you leave your food and you left like this? He said, my mother, don't ever give me milk sweet. Because when I see milk sweets, I remember my cows. Then Uddhav started to speak. Not only that, for hours together, he stands by the window of his palace and he looks towards the sea, thinking that sea is Yamuna. And talking to himself, he calls out, "Oh Madhumangal, oh Sridham, wait for me. I am coming. Don't leave me behind." He talks like a madman. Mother Rohini comes and she tells that I saw Krishna in Vrindavan to be so naughty, but he hardly talks to someone here. This is condition of Krishna. So mother of Kansa, Padma, she started to speak. She said, actually, this Vrindavan Vasi tortured Krishna so much that he is into shock. Poor guy had to take cows in forest every day. And cruel mother Yashoda didn't even give him shoes to wear. He had to go barefoot. And one day he was so hungry, he took little butter and he ate. And this Yashoda binded him with grinding mortar. They tortured our child so much. Call Gargamuni and tell Gargamuni to do proper calculation how much we should pay this Brajavasis so that Krishna become pacified. We don't want to keep any connection with Brajavasis. Devki stopped her. Don't tell like this. Vrindavan Vasis, they loved Krishna so much. Then when we called him to Mathura, they all followed. And I overheard people talking. They told me that when Krishna killed Kansa, when Krishna released us, means Devki and Vasudev, Nanda Maharaj and other Gopas were waiting. And Krishna walks up to Nanda Maharaj and what he told them? And Nanda Baba, you go back home. In 2-3 days, I will come. And what was Nanda Maharaj's response? Nanda Maharaj told Krishna, you remember the day you lifted Govardhan Hill when you were 7 years old? That day, I was constantly praying to the Lord that this hill should not fall because you're so small and tender. You were lifting this hill. And I was worried about all Brajavasis, that if this hill falls, they all will die. But today I think that that hill should have fallen and we all should have died. You're speaking that we should leave you in Mathura and go? Do you think we will be able to live? Devki tells, this is love of Nanda Maharaj. This is love of Brajavasis for Krishna. So don't talk about all these calculations. In the meantime, Krishna comes out of his room crying and weeping. He's calling, where is Vrindavan? Where is my mother? Where is my father? The Narad Muni helps Krishna by calling Vishwakarma. And immediately they tell Krishna, the Vishwakarma, you make replica of Vrindavan. Otherwise, Krishna will not handle the situation. So Vishwakarma made replica of Vrindavan just on the other shore of the sea. And immediately Garuda took Krishna to the other part of the other shore of sea where there was a replica of Vrindavan. Now Krishna got back to his senses. And in that replica, what Vishwakarma did, he put different statues of Brajavasis like Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, etc. When Krishna saw Nanda Maharaj, Krishna ran up to him. He said, Baba, 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 I saw a dream. In dream, I became prince of a golden city that was surrounded by sea. And, I married 16,108 wives. And, I had so many ministers under me. I had big army under me. Baba, Baba, why are you not talking to me? I know, I slept little more today. Therefore, you're not talking to me. And when you go to forest, I carry your wooden shoes. So then only you wear your wooden shoes. Where are your shoes? Let me bring your shoes. Krishna runs towards Nanda Bhavan, replica of Nanda Bhavan. And there he finds the deity of Mother Yashoda. Then Krishna started to tell Mother Yashoda, Ma, I saw a big dream. I told Baba about it. They took me and made me prince. I could not find both of you. Maybe you were busy churning butter for me. But I didn't like it. There are no cows. There are no Yamuna. I was missing all of you. Good that I am back. Why are you not talking to me? Oh, I am late for prasad today, therefore you're not talking to me. Quickly make prasad for me and then I will eat. And saying this, Krishna moves ahead. And then Krishna sees one special deity. Krishna goes to that deity. He started to circumambulate that deity and tells, are you upset with me? I will never leave you. Don't be upset with me. Krishna started to massage legs of that deity. Who is that? Srimati Radharani. Seeing this, Narad Muni realized, who is the greatest devotee? The residents of Vrindavan. Srimati Radharani. After Krishna left Vrindavan, he became like madman for those devotees. Who can be greater devotee than Brajavasis? So Narad Muni concluded that greatest devotee is Srimati Radharani. And Uddhav supported that yes, I also went to Vrindavan to teach them lesson of Parabrahma, lesson of Supreme Personality of Godhead. But I came back learning bhakti from them. So with this whole pastime, we can see how a relationship between devotees and Krishna is so intense and so deep. Every devotee feels that they have not done anything for Krishna. Every devotee feels that they are trouble for Krishna. And in return, Krishna feels so separation from his devotees. So this is real love. In material world, there is no love. Real love is in a spiritual world. And we all belong to that spiritual world. Imagine yourself, you're sitting with Krishna in forest, taking lunch with him. All Gopa friends, they bring food from their house. And you know what their offering is? With their own hand, they feed Krishna first. So imagine yourself, you're sitting with Krishna under a tree. You opened your lunch. You took out one morsel of food. And you're about to keep in Krishna's mouth. And that moment, you realize, such nice food. Why should I offer to Krishna? Should I taste it before? That moment we come to the material world. This material world means our desire to enjoy separately from Krishna. And then so many miseries we are undergoing in this material world. Our journey back to Krishna is simple. Let us remove ourselves from the center of our lives and put Krishna in this center. Let us keep that morsel in Krishna's mouth. Then he'll be happy, we will be happy. This is devotional service, adding Krishna in our life. And when we do that, we become completely reconnected to our spiritual nature. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Sorry, I lost track of time. Prabhuji told me 6:45, but I went 10 minutes extra. If anyone has any question, can ask. Any questions? Any comments? Can ask. Or should I ask the sequence? Any questions? Mataji has a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful journey. My question is this neophytes or new people who are coming to Krishna consciousness now, or even after a few years, when they hit, when they are addressed with tribulations of life. Okay, so the thought process is, I'm chanting, I'm attending class, I'm following what they're saying. So, but why? Why should I go through all this? So, what will be your...
Krishna consciousness doesn't mean that we will not get problems in life. In fact, sorry to share with you, but devotees suffer more apparently. Look at life of Pandavas. Look at life of Gajendra. Look at life of Parikshit Maharaj. So Krishna consciousness doesn't mean, bhakti doesn't mean there will be no problems. Bhakti means in problems, Krishna will be with us. Problems will come. Suppose somebody takes you on the bank of a river and he tells, can you see water? What you will respond? Of course, you brought me to a river, so I will see water. What else you expect? In the same way, Krishna tells this world as Dukkhalayam. Dukkhalayam means house of miseries. So what else we expect in this world? Miseries will come. For sure, be prepared for it. It will come. But then we have two options. Either suffer alone or in that misery, have Krishna in your team. I was telling about Indra pouring water in Vrindavan, the rains of devastation. Actually, Indra was thinking Brajvasis must be suffering. So Indra sent his CCTV team. You know what is Indra's CCTV team? Thunderbolt, lightning. So Indra said, okay, go and take some photographs. Show me what's happening in Vrindavan. So lightning came and went back and reported Indra. In Vrindavan, there is festival going on. What festival? Krishna has lifted this Govardhan hill, and although we are pouring so much water, Hare Krishna, although we are pouring so much water, but nothing is happening. The Govardhan is dancing. And below Govardhan, all these devotees are having nice festival. So apparently, externally, there is misery, but because Krishna is in their team, that misery became a festival. So that is devotee's attitude. So when we come to Krishna consciousness, don't have unrealistic expectations that there will be no miseries, no tribulations. No. Challenges will come. But benefit for devotees is in these challenges, Krishna will stand by our side. Okay. Any other question? Here is one question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So regarding the sequence, whatever you said, in that sequence, Goddess Lakshmi also came. And in the last, Radharani came. Just wanted to understand, is there any difference, or like earlier I had impression like both of them
Yes,
came at the
there
time.
is difference. Difference is like, suppose a man has a 5 BHK apartment and he has a lot of things there. He may have washing machine, he may have fridge, he may have OTG, he may have so many things. But when he travels, how he travels? Does he take the whole thing with him? No. He just carries whatever is necessary. In the same way, Srimati Radharani is abode of all qualities. She is the supreme personality of Godhead in female form. But because she has to go in different incarnations with the Lord as eternal consort, she comes in different forms. So Radharani comes as Lakshmi. She expands as Lakshmi. She comes as Sita. She comes in different forms and assists Lord in their pastimes. So other forms and expansions of Radharani, they may not have same qualities as Radharani. They are not different, but only for a specific purpose, only these gunas they take and they come. So Lakshmi is expansion of Srimati Radharani. And the mood is awe and reverence. Lakshmi will massage Lord's legs. Radharani may not do that. Rather, Krishna may have to massage Radharani's legs. So Radharani is the supreme, personality of devotion. She is the personification of pure devotion. Any other question? From the translation group, any question?
ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮಾತಾಜೀಸ್ ಪ್ರಭುಸ್ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
Hare Krishna.
So I think
Prabhuji has something. Okay, there is one question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. This is in continuation to the Mataji's question only. So there is a natural tendency with most of the people that if I do bhakti, or if I practice some devotional service, in return, most of them will expect that I should not have any problems. And there will be so many other requirements also. That's what. If that doesn't fulfill, sometimes they oppose God, or they may go to some different God, or they may take some other gurus as a spiritual master, and they would like to follow because that will get close to their heart and fulfill their desire. They think that it will fulfill their desires. So if we want to communicate to the ordinary people, not just ordinary, I'm saying it's a wrong word, but if people has to understand that bhakti is not like a business. So how to make them understand?
See, it's not about miseries or opulence. It's about faith. If our faith on Krishna is not solid, then if he gives opulence, then also we'll deviate. It happened to demigods. They were obeying Lord, but when they drank nectar after Samudra Manthan, then they became more proud. So much so that they offended their spiritual master. So it may not happen always that only because of miseries and problems we leave Krishna consciousness. No. Even if we get opulence and success in material life, then also we can leave Krishna consciousness. But real thing is faith. And that faith is, my dear Lord, Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tuhar, nitya das prati tu adhikar. I'm your servant. You know what is best for me. I was sharing with devotees that I had to go to hospital for one surgery last year. And there was one boy. He met some accident. So something got stuck in his thighs. It was an emergency case, so they rushed him to the emergency ward. And he was in pain, so doctor immediately started to do little surgery to take out that thing which went in his thighs. Now, in order to do the surgery, what doctor did? He cut his pants. As soon as doctor cut his pants, this boy started screaming on doctor. Such a costly pant, you cut it? It's my favorite one. Doctor didn't listen to him. Why he neglected this boy? Because doctor knows at this moment, saving his body is more important than saving clothes. In the same way, Krishna knows what is best for us. Sometimes he may give pampering to our body, sometimes he may give material advancement if it helps us to practice Krishna consciousness. And if it becomes impediment, if this body is an impediment, he may take it away also. That faith should be there. He protected Prahlad because saving Prahlad increased his bhakti. But he let Vritrasura die because being in demon's body, Vritrasura left that body and went back to Godhead. So it's up to Lord how he saves. Let us leave it up to him. Sometimes he may give opulence, sometimes he may take it away. So it's mainly about faith, not about the situation. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದ್ದಾವ?
Hare Krishna. So I think there aren't any more questions.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, thank you so much on behalf of the entire team. I would just like to express our sincere gratitude. And it was wonderful to have you here and share the nectar. I mean, it's a nectar that was like, I don't see there is any words that can describe this nectar, right? So such a great, wonderful nectar that we had from Prabhu today. So we are actually very fortunate to hear this. Yes or no? Yeah, Hari Bol? Yes. So as just to acknowledge Prabhu's association with us, his time with us. So let us all chant 3 times the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for Prabhuji's good health and continued services. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. I beg forgiveness if I said something which is hurting to you, and I seek blessings of all wonderful Vaishnavas here. I see Swarnagor Hari Prabhu. I was fortunate to serve under him in youth preaching in PICT and get so many guidance and so many wonderful ideas for preaching from him. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Shri Shri Patit Pavan Gaur Nitai ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Bangalore Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna. And also I want to thank Vikram Baldev Prabhu for getting Prabhuji here. So Vikram Baldev Prabhu called me. Then it was a wonderful opportunity for all of us to hear such a nectarian pastimes of Krishna. I request Kishore Prabhuji to visit us once more. Thank you. Haribo.
Keep on visiting. So now we will move on to the next part of our program, which is the Arati. And then after that, then we will have the Prasadam. So I request all the devotees to So I request devotees to kindly and